Oh, I gotta admit, it makes a huge difference. Hi guys, it's me, Essie Magic. I hope you're having a wonderful day. If not, hopefully this video will help you out, because today I'm going to be giving my 5 unique tips for self-care while at home in this crazy world we're in right now, where so many people are socially distancing and staying home. I specifically wanted to do this video because I have gone through so many stress-inducing situations, and I feel like some of these tips could really help, especially because a lot of times when you look at different tips for self-care, they're always the typical, exercise, get good sleep, meditate, do yoga. And so I wanted to do something that, in my opinion, is a little bit more unique, and they're things that I specifically do to help reduce stress. Before we get into the content of this video though, I do want to remind you to make sure you subscribe and turn the notification bell on somewhere down here, so that you can be notified every time that I release a new video. Hopefully you do benefit from a lot of the helpful tips that I share on this channel. With that being said, let's get right into it. The first tip I have is one that, I gotta admit, it makes a huge difference. And that is to improve the air quality in your home. How I do this right now is through having an air purifier, one that specifically has an air filter, a HEPA air filter. And oh my gosh, the difference between a room that has an air purifier and one that doesn't, you can tell the difference. But essentially what a HEPA filter does is it helps to filter out allergens, viruses, and honestly, if you do buy one, make sure you test it out in a room, close the door just to see, and then literally, I don't know if it's a smell or what, but feel the difference between that pure air and the other air. And just that in itself makes you feel so much more calm and just clean and just more relaxed, because you're in a healthy air environment. I also use it as a noise maker for when I sleep. If you're anything like me, I like having noise when I'm sleeping, like fans and things like that, so I use it as a noise maker also. And of course, if you're an allergy sufferer like me, I suffer from allergies to dust mites, it really helps, trust me. A second tip I have that I feel like nobody really thinks of, because we're so used to the digital age of using our phones, is to buy a plug-in, or not even plug-in, a digital alarm clock that's separate from your phone. I don't know about you, but once we got into all this phone business, I started using my phone as my #1 alarm, and it is not good. And let me tell you why. Because what happens is you have your phone by you when you're going to bed, and then you end up, instead of going to bed right away, you checking your phone, lying on your bed, checking your phone. And then on top of that, when you wake up in the morning, the very first thing you do again is pick up your phone, start going through all this stuff, and it's just not good for stress at all. First of all, when you're going to bed, it makes your mind wired. Everything's still going when you're supposed to be coming down. And then you wake up and you just alarm yourself with all this data and information as soon as you wake up. So I bought a typical old-fashioned alarm clock, but the good thing is that the modern ones these days have dimmers. So I know a lot of people don't like that alarm clocks will be blaring a light when you're trying to sleep. The modern day ones have dimmers that you can literally dim, and you don't even see it at all, and then it still rings when you wake up. So I recommend getting a alarm clock separate from your phone. The next tip that I have is to use a diffuser. I love plugging in my diffuser after work because I'm working from home, and one of the difficulties I've found since working from home is being able to separate work from home, and I keep mixing it all up and going back to work when I should be relaxing, and vice versa. So having a routine of, okay, I'm done work, I turn on my diffuser, creating that separation, it really helps to have you come down from all that work you did. And a diffuser is perfect because you can put essential oils in them for different causes. I use lavender oil, which is really good for stress and anxiety, relaxation, allergies. It even helps for eczema. So I love my lavender essential oil. I also just recently bought valerian essential oil, so we'll see how that goes. That one's more for restlessness and sleeplessness. So putting in an essential oil is so good. I literally can feel the difference of like my mood changing from finishing work. The next tip I have is related again to removing stress, and this is to drink those stress relief teas. In addition to putting on my diffuser, I then make a nice hot cup of tea. It's so good. And I choose teas that are specifically designed for stress reduction. One of the ones that I am using right now is honey lavender flavor, and it's made by Yogi brand. This is not sponsored by them in any way, by the way. I'm just telling you this to help. And they have a lot of different flavors, that brand, and it's good because it's like just creates the perfect ambiance now, because I have my air purifier, I have the diffuser going, now I have my hot tea. Perfect environment for, you know, decompressing and relieving stress. I recommend it. My final tip today is one that you may have heard before, or it may sound very basic to some people, but you'd be surprised how many people don't think about this. But it is reducing the amount of time you watch the news. And I just find that it's just, not that I'm being delusional about what's going on in the world, because I am not at all, but if you're anyone who's like me, who's very sensitive to, you know, hearing constant deaths and things like that, bad news, you would probably benefit from sometimes taking a pause from the news. For me, I'm very sensitive to hearing about all the numbers of people dying from COVID-19, and so I just need to take a break to remove that sort of, I don't know what it is, like not a doom feeling, but kind of just it's like a big cloud hanging over your head. And sometimes we need a break from that, whether it be watching a movie, watching Hulu, or one of these streaming things that has a lot of shows you can watch. I definitely take advantage of those because I realize it's just too much at times. I watch more news now because I've gotten more used to it, as bad as that sounds, but in the early stages when the virus was very new, it is a novel virus after all, I had to take like literally 2-week breaks from the news because it was just too much. Now I watch it more, especially with the elections and things like that, but man, it's okay to want to take a step back just to clear your mind of everything negative and be able to focus on some positive things while still remaining realistic about the situation. It doesn't mean that you're denying it exists, because it very much does exist, but it's just a way to take a step back. There's nothing wrong with taking a step back and being able to refresh your day, starting anew without this terrible cloud over your head. Yeah, and I find that's helped me a lot, and then I watch it when I feel like it, but when it's something that, you know, I really need to be informed about, I definitely do watch it. But it, like I said, it is okay to take that step back, and that is the purpose of entertainment after all. The whole purpose of entertainment is to be able to get your mind off of all of life's problems and go into, you know, a fantasy land or a fiction or something entertaining. So yeah, so that is my last tip. If I missed anything on this list that you feel is unique and could benefit people watching this video, definitely put it in the comments below. I would love to hear from you guys as well. Other than that, also make sure you end up checking out lagoals.com, where I have tons of great resources for people who are really ambitious, chasing their goals, looking to start a business, needing tips about being in LA, if they are in LA, or even if you're not in LA, there's a ton of tips on how to succeed in your career. So make sure you check out lagoals.com, and of course there's tons of podcasts there also. Or even if you just want to talk to me directly, ask me questions, I am there in the LA Goals group as well. So yeah, head over there and talk to me. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, keep being magic. Bye!